Hello, welcome to Friday. We're going to go through some of the stuff that I missed on radio and television because we've been busy this week. We've been busy, and it's Pride Month, and we're super Pride. That's why I'm wearing all the colors of the rainbow today. Listen, we have on our podcast tomorrow available right here on YouTube. It's been out for Blaze subscribers. Are you not a Blaze subscriber yet? What is wrong with you? Everybody's doing it these days. The Blaze subscribers had it for a couple of days. It's Spencer Clavin, really smart dude, and very relatable. And he's really thought out what the West really means. I don't mean America. I mean the entire West. What does it mean? How does it start? How does it end? And how do we save it? It's great. You're going to love it. Also, we did a special on the Ukraine on Wednesday. Also available at BlazeTV, but you'd know that if you supported us. We did a special on Ukraine, which I think you're going to really like. Why are the Democrats and the Republicans so eager for this war? We show you, we do the math. You will understand, and it's a dangerous situation. But we're going to actually now just look at some of the other things we didn't get to this week, and we'll do it brought to you by our sponsor, ReliefFactor.com. Hi, I'm Joe, and I had a lot of pain because I wear glasses not because I can't see, it's because I used to keep poking myself in the eye, and nothing would stop it until I got these glasses. But I had done so much damage to my eye. I mean, it was like swollen up like up to here. It's crazy. People were like, do you have a tumor? And I'm like, no, I just keep punching myself in the eye with my finger. So I took Relief Factor, and Relief Factor made the swelling go down. I'm not in pain anymore. It's great. I just tried the 3-week quick start, and then I got glasses, so I don't do that anymore. Well, there it is. Man off the street. You heard it for yourself. Try it for 3 weeks. See if it doesn't work for you. 800-4-RELIEF. 800-4-RELIEF. Get the 1995 3-week quick start. Or you can call 800-4-RELIEF. And we're back. Okay, let's see. Where do we start? Well, the big news was the debt ceiling. Now, I don't know about you, but what I like to do is when my wife and I are arguing, and we are not arguing, we're having a healthy discussion about how much money we could possibly save when we buy a lot of stuff that we really don't need. And when I know she's holding the winning hand in logic, I immediately bring the kids into the room and say to the kids, your mother wants us to stop buying things, which means food. She won't buy any food anymore. She won't buy you a pillow. There won't be any books that she'll read to you anymore. And Mom will be like, I'm saying we shouldn't spend this over here. Yeah, well, that's what she says, but she's lying to you. Oh, the fun we have at home. Good thing our government, when it does its budget, is nothing like that at all. No, because many people now don't believe we should even have a debt ceiling. Why talk about it if we're going to argue? Just take the ceiling off and let that thing just go to the sky. Here is a Democratic representative who I think represents us very, very well, talking to MSNBC. Watch. Put it on the floor.
Or is this just how Washington works?
Well, it better not be, because what we want to do, first of all, is to end this even opportunity for holding hostage. We should just have end the debate over paying the bills of the United States of America.
Amen.
That it should be automatic. That it should be like, during the Trump administration, he passed a debt ceiling 3 times without any hullabaloo. We should just make it a rule like the 14th Amendment of the Constitution says.
It doesn't say that.
We have to pay the bills that are incurred.
Stop. Okay. This is so ridiculous. First of all, what we should take away from that Donald Trump example is the Republicans should decide if they're for debt or not, because both Republicans, Democrats, and independents, a third wheel there, they're all going to have to pay for that debt. Okay, so we shouldn't play politics with it. The Republicans should decide, are we for debt or are we against debt? I, for one, am against it. At least do you realize we have spent more money this year alone than anyone on planet Earth that's human? I mean, there might be some fish money going around that we don't know about deep in the waters where Jacques Cousteau could not find anything. I cannot find any monetary system with the fishes because he couldn't go deep enough. But maybe they're spending more at the fish level. But humans, we've spent more than anyone ever on planet Earth. I don't know. I think we should reel that back in. No offense to Jacques Cousteau or any of his little fishy friends, huh? So, did you notice she also used the word hostage? We are not going to be held hostage. Well, first of all, who makes the final decision? Okay? Who makes the final decision on the going bankrupt, defaulting on our debts? When you do it in your home, and I know it's crazy, you've already freaked the kids out, but when you're talking in your home and you're like, she's gonna, you know what? The bankers are gonna come and take you to children's prison, debtor's prison, kids. Hopefully your kids are smart enough to go, Dad, there is no debtor prison. And you're just talking about spending more money. She's not saying we're not going to pay our debts. In fact, Mom would have to be the one to decide that we're not going to pay any of our debts. And what you guys usually do is you pay them in order of importance. So maybe we don't get that new turtle tunnel. I know it's important. Damn it, I know. I weep for the turtles every night. But we're going to have to hang on and maybe not get that turtle tunnel because we have this giant debt to pay. There is no such thing as a default. You have to choose default. That's what this is. But nobody wants to explain that because they like to have hostages. And who's being held hostage? Congress or you? You are being held hostage. You will pay another $6 trillion or we'll kill you all. That's what's happening. You're being held hostage. Your future, your country, your children's future. But since they're on the hostage thing, I love this. By just saying no, I don't think we should spend another $6 trillion. This is what the Democrats have been saying this week.
Democrats are very clear. There is no perfect negotiation when you are the victims of extortion. Nobody likes to pay a ransom note, and that's exactly what tonight's vote is. Our payment on the ransom of the American people. The MAGA Republicans, the extremists have taken them hostage, offered, as the leader set forth, a lose-lose proposition.
I know I had a point to make on that, but I'm not sure what it is anymore because, I mean, I don't want a dead name, but was she a dude? I don't know anymore. I don't know. I do not on Pride Month, Glenn. You're making fun. I'm not making fun of her. I really don't know anymore. I don't know. And it won't help me because nobody will tell me. No, that's a woman. She just looks like that. Okay. Or that's a man who's now a woman. Okay. Whatever. But we can't have that conversation. But hey, stop by your local Target store and tuck it. Okay, let's see. Where was I? I believe we were on cut 3. So we've spent a lot of money. Now, when you spend a lot of money, you should get another job. There should be something that you're doing to make sure that we're going to make more money. Okay. What are we good at making money at? Destroying the earth. Yes, true. Stealing Africa from the Africans. Yes, true. We know it. The patriarchy, keeping you down. I'm asking you about what do we really make a lot of money on? Drug sales. Okay, could we be serious here for a second? We make a lot of money if you don't count the Biden family, because that's a whole different kettle of fish. We make a lot of money on fossil fuels, otherwise known as oil and gas. So we could sell that to an entire planet that wants it, or we could do this.
Another major problem is the Joe Manchin pipeline that we fought so hard to stop from being built. That is still a part of this bill. And what's problematic about that is, number one, we need to stop drilling for fossil fuels completely. But number two, we need an expedited way to get us to clean, renewable energy, or we will continue to have these severe weather events that we have been having for quite some time. And because of the
stop.
warming of
I've
the
listened
planet.
to this, and he's right. The first suggestion is number one, and the second one is number two. Or is it one is two and two? But they are number one and two. I agree with him. That is fantastic. By the way, ESG, this according to CNBC, ESG and energy activism has peaked. Don't believe it, but here's what they say.
The activism that we're seeing is about what you'd expect, is it not? It's kind of in line with what we've seen in recent years.
Well, in terms of energy activism, I think it's probably peaked. I mean, when you look at where we were 2 years ago, engine number one, Exxon, that was the heat of that kind of activism movement. I think 2 years on, the pendulum has kind of swung back. And it's definitely leveled off. A couple other reasons, too. I mean, the ESG topic itself has been politicized to the point where I think a lot of this has kind of calmed down. And I think you look at today, though, it's leveled off, but it hasn't gone away.
Up is down and down is up. This is hysterical. You know, now that ESG has been politicized. How? Wait, we've politicized it? The whole thing is political. Governance is the G. It's all political. But no, now that they've discredited it by making it political. Oh my gosh. By the way, you're doing a fantastic job on ESG. We are way ahead of the rest of the world. We got a long way to go, baby. This is a Virginia Slim. I can do it. It's pride. Don't you judge me for smoking a pencil and saying that it's a Virginia Slim, because they've come a long way, baby. Anyway, you're doing a great job, but we got a long way to go, baby. All right, let me see. Cut number 5 is, I can't even read my own handwriting. Oh, here it is. Now, they're talking about ESG. And ESG is making sure that you fall in line with all of the energy nonsense. You have a gas stove. Do you have a gas stove? Don't you know you're killing children? It's like my mother always said, you don't eat that, there are starving children in China. They'd love to have that. Well, put it in an envelope, Mom. Okay. There are children that don't have stoves, and you buy the stove that kills children? Not really, or at all, but we now are saying that it kills. Is that what you have? Is that what you have? Now, that's who they are. But they have a few comments about Governor Ron DeSantis.
If he's elected president, the federal government would ignore your material and economic needs and instead would micromanage every aspect of your life. So I guess the DeSantis administration would move to replace the boards of every one of the approximately 6,000 public universities in this country that he thinks are too woke, like he did it to New College in Florida. And he's going to need some de facto morality police to monitor what you read and ban books in America's 90,000 odd public schools. President DeSantis would ban artistic freedom of speech, of course, and wield the federal government like a sledgehammer against businesses who do anything that displeases him and other members of the far right.
Stop! Are you kidding me? He's gonna do that? Hello? ESG. Now, if DeSantis would come in and do that and micromanage every aspect of our lives like your side is doing, I will be on your side if DeSantis is the president. Because that's the whole crazy constitutional thing here that we keep missing. The Bill of Rights. Government can't do any of that crap. None of it. They cannot spy on you. Being done. They can't just stomp all over your rights to fair hearing, face your accusers, getting a speedy trial. Well, they've taken a scissors and cut all of these apart, and then they've taken it and then they just put it into I don't know if it's a bread slicer or what do you call those shredding machines. That's what it is. Those kids today with their damn shredding machines. So he's going to micromanage your life. Okay. You saw, maybe, hopefully, you saw the special that I did Wednesday on Ukraine. And why is that happening? Why are we in this mess? Because the government has folded itself into private corporations. Okay. Oh, are they going to replace the school boards in every school district? Well, no, the people would do that. They do that by voting. That's the way we've always done it. They're going to replace the boards. No. ESG is replacing the boards of every corporation and forcing them into a public-private partnership with the United States government. That's what's really happening here. And that's one of the reasons why we're going to war with Ukraine, because there's a lot of money to be made on war. Watch my special from Wednesday night. But did you know that while we are spending all of this money, we're bankrupt, sending all of our arms, sending all of our money over to Ukraine, it's just like here. You dare not speak out against this war. Watch this State Department on an American who is now imprisoned in Ukraine for saying America shouldn't be in this war. This is wrong. He's in prison. Listen to this.
Thanks, Liam Cosgrove with Epic Times. So this was a couple weeks ago, but I haven't seen an official statement on it. A U.S. citizen who was residing in Ukraine has been arrested, and that he was a California-born man. He was in the past like a Business Insider contributor, and he had a YouTube channel. He was an outspoken critic of Zelensky's regime. The Ukrainian SBU released a press release saying he was arrested for justifying Putin's invasion. So ultimately, it added up to speech. And I spoke with Congressman Ted Lieu, Democrat, and he said he urges the State Department to engage its authorities to, work out some sort of negotiation to get him released. So are you guys aware of this? How do we feel about our allies, detaining U.S. citizens for speech abroad?
I will say in general that we're aware of the report. We obviously support the exercise of freedom of speech anywhere in the world, and I'll leave it at that.
So you guys aren't working to get him released?
I'm going to leave my comments where I just left them.
Yeah, because you don't need to know, you little peons. You don't need to know what we're doing. You just don't. Look, we wouldn't have a problem with freedom of speech if people would just curb saying the things that the governments of the world don't like. When they stop doing that, then we're not going to have to worry about it, okay? Everybody can say things, just not right now. And how could we possibly ask Ukraine to free a journalist who was speaking out because the whole system over there is corrupt. How could you possibly ask Ukraine to do that? Okay, what leverage do we have? Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. Okay, let me take a quick break, tell you about our sponsor, and then I'm gonna show you lesbianism is not what you think it is. Brought to you by My Patriot Supply. When things are falling apart, and I don't see that happening. I mean, I don't see trouble on the horizon. Do you? Major war, economic breakdown, chaos in the streets, regime change, dollar crashing. None of those things. All conspiracy theories. So let me just talk to those crazy conspiracy theorists that will listen to this and they'll just buy it because, you know, they're zombies and stupid. They're so stupid they don't even realize that I'm calling them stupid while I'm telling them they should buy something. They just and put their money down. So let me talk to them for a minute. Hey, trouble coming. You, home. You, no food in big white box in kitchen. Get 3-month emergency food kits. Yummy, healthy, and save $200. I don't know how to. These people are so stupid. Anyway, you explain it to them. Just go to My Patriot Supply. I can't explain the internet to them. MyPatriotSupply.com. You go there, 25 years storage, really good food. Save $200 per 3-month food supply. How am I even going to explain months to these Neanderthals? MyPatriotSupply.com. Go there now. All right. Now, this came as a shock to me. But I'm going to let them say it here. This is a TikTok video. Lesbianism does not mean women liking women. Watch.
There's a misconception that lesbian means a woman who loves other women, and actually the definition is non-men who are attracted to and love other non-men. Throughout history, there have always been gender non-conforming lesbians, and it's interesting to see nowadays that there are some folks who kind of try to gatekeep that identity and only include folks who identify as women, when that's not what being lesbian is all about. There are trans men who identified as a lesbian for many, many years and still feel comfortable within that community and that identity. There are non-binary folks of all kinds who identify as lesbians. There's like a zillion different ways to be a lesbian. And if that word is what's comfortable for you.
Stop. He's right. I've been wrong. She's absolutely right. And I have been denying it forever. I'm not your typical lesbian. I identify as a male. But I will only sleep with women. I'm attracted to women. There, I've said it. I'm attracted to women, and I am a non-female that is attracted. No, I'm a, non-female attracted to females. I don't know how this, it gets very complex. Don't try to work it out in your own head. Hate me if you must. But I stand by it. I'm a lesbian. I'm glad I got that off of my chest today. Okay, let's go to cut 9, because we've taken you, do you have enough brain power to continue? Because I know that lesbian thing was tough, but I'm going to throw another intellectual log on the fire here. Go ahead.
Your generation grew up online. Technology that might be intimidating or unfamiliar to other generations, to you is exciting and intuitive. You see what can be unburdened by what has been.
Think of that.
And you have the agility and the ability to bring that potential to life.
Socrates, Plato, morons. One last clip for you. Here is an immigration expert asked to grade Biden's border. Watch.
Mr. Costa, what grade, A, B, C, D, F, would you give President Biden's administration on combating illegal immigration?
Oh my gosh.
I don't know what grade I would put it. I think they've made some useful improvements, but I think that the border there's so much money going to the border that I think the border is mostly secure. People are mostly turning themselves in. They're not really crossing the border without authorization.
You can't give a grade? You're an expert on immigration, and you can't give a grade?
Oh, I guess if I had to, I'd probably be about a C, right in the middle somewhere.
A C or a D?
A C, because they kept some Trump policies in place. They've made some improvements.
Right.
They're sort of in between.
Yeah. Now, I trust any expert who 2 years after the pandemic is still wearing a mask. I think that's rational, reasonable. I mean, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he has cancer or that thing that John Travolta had when he had to live in that bubble, Maybe he stepped out of his bubble and he's like, I'm going to risk it. I'm going to risk it because this is important. People need to know. The border is just right in the middle. It sure might have been a little better than this in the past, but it's mostly secure. You know why he's wearing the mask? I'm going to say it. Once I say it, you're going to look at him, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, it is. Miracle Max. The border isn't on fire. It isn't dead. It's mostly secure. There's a big difference from secure and mostly secure. Okay? And I'm just going to say it, especially, there's nothing like a good MLT when the mutton is real thin, perky. Yeah. Good night, America.